What it do? What it do? It's your boy Bandit, and I'm here with my man Nate the Hate. And we had a
What's up,
crazy
man?
day of college football today, so we thought we'd talk about it a little bit, man, before we go to
Yeah,
bed.
for sure,
You
man.
know,
Change the
Sunday,
pace.
Sunday is the committee gonna come out with their little rankings and who's gonna be in the top four, who makes it in the playoffs, and who not. So we'll talk about it before everybody else talk about it, even though it is 12:30 at night. But Bandit Sports, we don't ever stop moving over here, man. Nate,
Exactly.
man, what you want to talk about first? You want to go through the games, and then we can talk about who's in and who's out.
Yeah. Let's run through the games, man. There's some
Let's
good
run through the
games.
game. So we already know that Washington beat Oregon. Let's start about the game. What was the game first? First game was
First game was Texas and
Texas. Texas versus Oklahoma,
Oklahoma
man.
State.
Texas, man. They, hey, they said they needed to win. They needed to win big. Hey, the quarterback came up big today, man. And they beat Oklahoma State 49-21, man. What was your outcome with the looks of the game, man?
It's not surprising, man. Texas. We'll talk about the Iowa Michigan game, but I mean, Texas got 4 to 5 star recruits. Oklahoma State maybe a 4 star, mostly 3 stars. The talent is unreal. Difference. Um, Texas did what they supposed to do. They came in and they wrecked shop, and you know,
Bulldogs, though,
uh,
man. They bulldozed Oklahoma State, man. They was trying to show the
yeah.
committee, like, hey, this is the reason why we should be in, man. Me and you got
Well,
disagreements
I
about
mean, they
Texas.
took they took they took care of business, man. They took care of business, but I mean, this just speaks more to how bad the Big 12 is. I mean, you look at Texas is scheduled this whole year. I mean, outside of Bama, they really didn't pay anybody worth a damn, let alone quarterbacks, man. I can't even name half the quarterbacks they played. That's
But
how
you
bad
hear
it
that? But they
was.
beat Bama in Bama though. That's and we
They
gonna argue
did.
about
They
that later on.
they did. They did. They did. Yeah, sure. That was 2 games into the season or 3 games of the season, but yes, they did. But it's a different Jalen Milrow. We'll talk more about him. But yeah, Texas did what they did, and we'll see what happens. The coach after the game was saying he'll play anybody anywhere. Well, we'll see, man. I know the committees really like Texas, so they have a good chance. But we'll get into a little more debate on that one. Go ahead.
Nick, my thing was I was my first time watching Texas all day all this year, man. And I liked what I seen from the Texas team. You feel me? Their offense was up and clicking. Their defense was balling. They even had a defensive tackle score a passing
Yeah,
touchdown, man. And he
I
did
mean
his
they could
little
they could put up points, bro. But again, it's the level of
in the
competition,
end
man.
zone.
It's the level of competition, man. And I'm telling you, man, I'm the type of person that I look at who you play, and they literally played one game against a legit team, which wasn't even that good at the time. I mean, Alabama, Alabama struggled early in the season with Milrow. He got benched, then he got started again. So they were not even where they were now. And then after that, dude, they really didn't beat anybody like worth a damn. I mean, like they just, I mean, they they're hit or miss, man. They really are. They've got a lot of weapons. Xavier Worthy got hurt. He was on crutches. So if that's anything serious, Texas could be in a world of trouble because they really need number one against any of the big dogs if they get into the playoffs.
For sure. The next game we're gonna talk about was Georgia versus Alabama, man. Well, I got the scores mixed up. Alabama won the game 27-24.
Yeah. Don't be scaring people. Yeah.
It is 12:30 at night, but yeah, Alabama came out with this win, man. And they needed to win. I feel like, truthfully, myself, I feel like with Alabama beating Georgia and Texas winning and Florida State winning that we were going to talk about, I feel like the SEC just knocked each other out of the playoffs. I feel like no SEC team gonna get in. But what's your thoughts on it?
I mean, I don't see that happening. I think that, again, I was watching all the interviews, all the post conferences where all the coaches making their case for the playoffs. It was hilarious. Like watching them beg
Big.
for food. Yeah. Nick Saban, he said it straight, man. You beat the number one team in the country. And honestly, if you watch this game wasn't even really close. I mean, Bama dominated most of this game. Georgia
Yes, they
kept it
did.
close scoring wise, but Bama dominated on both ends of this side of this game. And that right there tells me that you gotta put Bama in. Because I mean, yeah, okay, fine. They lose to Texas. Okay, I get that. But look at the facts. They lost to Texas, so they had one loss. Texas lost one loss. They lost to Oklahoma, and both teams won their championship. But the fucking Texas beat an Oklahoma State team, and fucking Bama beat the number one team in the country. The number defending champion twice, 2 years in a row. I don't know, man. And it was a pretty dominating fashion victory. I and you got to think too. Here's another aspect of it. The SEC brings in so much revenue that if you don't put an SEC team into the fucking playoffs, you're gonna lose a lot of money, man, because a lot of people in the South like to watch their team play. And as much as Texas is like too, most people out of Texas don't give a shit about Texas. Okay. But people like Bama, people like Georgia. Georgia's out. We know that already. But Bama, I think they're in. But we'll see. You know, that's going to be it's going to tell me more. Whoever gets in, it tells me one or two things. It tells me that they value the head-to-head more than they value a conference championship, which to me, that doesn't make any fucking sense. Because at the end of the day, you play for the conference championship.
Okay, but
That's
that goes back to the Texas talk though, because hey, the battle they head to head, they beat Alabama. But Alabama
right,
beat Georgia, but
right.
they
But
beat
both
Alabama,
teams won
and
their
they got that conference championship.
both teams had the same record, and both teams won their conference championship. And you're not going to sit here and tell me that the SEC is worse than the Big 12. You're just not.
It's that head to head factor though. The committee gonna look at that.
Well, they should look at it, but at the end of the day, you're not. I cannot see you kicking Bama out of the playoffs after they beat the number one fucking team in the country. Like if Texas had gone in and played, well, they'll play next year. If Texas had beat fucking Georgia in a championship, and they were like, let's say they reversed roles. Let's say Bama was 8, Texas was 7. Okay, or no, Texas was 8, Bama was 7. Okay, if Texas went in and fucking beat Georgia in the in the SEC championship, then Texas should be in the playoff because they took down the number one team.
Let me
Same
remind you.
thing for Bama.
Let me remind you though what the standings was. You feel me? You had Georgia at number 1, Michigan at number 2, Washington at number 3, Florida State at number 4, Oregon at number 5,
Mm-hmm.
Ohio State at number 6, Texas at number 7, Alabama at number 8. Okay, first and foremost, all right, I get the fact that you're saying Alabama beat the number 1 team. Texas beat a ranked team too. You got Washington that beat Oregon. Ohio State was eliminated. We're not really gonna talk about that right now. And then Florida State won too. So
Mm-hmm.
Florida State's already ranked 4. Okay.
Right.
Michigan
They're
gonna slide up to number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Go blue. Washington gonna slide up to number 2. All right.
Yeah.
That means Florida State, they didn't lose. They with a third string quarterback who their defense looked at fucking
And everybody
awful.
fucking predicted them to lose too. That's even
Yes,
bigger.
that defense looked at awesome. They got a playoff defense over there in Florida State.
Oh
They
my
held it
god,
down.
yes.
So you gonna move
Oh
them
my
up to
god.
3. So now you telling me the number 4 ranked team is not gonna be Oregon or Ohio State. It's between Texas and Alabama, right?
So here's the thing.
You
If
gotta slide
Texas
Texas in that number 4 spot.
if Texas was 5 or 6, I would agree with the argument. But you've got 7 and 8, which can honestly be interchangeable.
But
Like
you gotta look at that
the margin,
it goes
the
back to that
margin.
head-to-head match too, though.
Well, I get that. It's just for me again, like I said, it's not only about the head to head, but you got to look at the revenue, man. Like everybody knows the SEC brings in big time money on the national championship games. And for you to take that whole fucking opportunity away from them, it's just you got to make your money, and it's all about politics too, man. So We'll see, man. I mean, both teams are deserving.
You think about Texas. Texas is a football state. You feel me? So they're gonna bring in
They are.
that revenue that.
But people don't give a shit about
Alabama,
Texas
Georgia
outside of Texas.
Texas is gonna bring them in too. So
yeah, I mean, but people don't care about. But the thing is, people don't care about Texas outside of Texas. Really, it's more like I guarantee you, there's more Bama fans outside of their states than there are Texas fans.
Texas they've been irrelevant for the last 3 years.
Well, I mean, that's the thing
down there. I mean, how many championships Bama have won and everything? They always are relevant. That's not. We're not questioning the relevancy here. We're questioning the head to head. That head. I'm telling you, that's gonna be that final, not just that head to head battle between Texas and Alabama. And I got Texas getting in and Alabama getting out, and no SEC team making
it. It sounds crazy to me, man. But like I said, we'll see what happens. I mean, like I said,
another way. Okay, let's think about it. It's another way they can get in though, because like you said, Florida State played Louisville today with a backup third string quarterback, and they didn't blow Louisville out. A lot of people are saying, "Hey,
they were supposed to lose to Louisville. They know you got to blow them out." Come on.
A lot of people are saying, "Hey, they ain't got no quarterback right now. The quarterback's injury." You know what I mean? Kick Florida State out. Would you agree with kicking Florida State out, even though they haven't lost a game and they won their conference championship game?
Fuck no. Florida State is deserving of a playoff berth. I was even said on your show earlier the day that if Florida State lost, I could still make an argument for them to be in. They fucking won, man, and it was a dominating win. That defense, like you said, is a playoff defense. Verse is a beast. I mean, I don't even know who the quarterback is for Florida State. I mean, they were running wildcat plays. I mean, I thought I was watching that fucking Philadelphia 49er game remember when Purdy got hurt and they just threw everybody out there and said, hey,
basically.
Figure it out. And that's what they did. Hey, kudos to them, man. You lose your starting quarterback and all you do is you win 2 games and nobody gave you a punter's chance of winning. Everybody on this show picked fucking Louisville to win. I'm the only one that picked fucking Florida State to win. And I told you, you know why? Because this team plays hard. They have a damn good defense. And, hey, defense travels.
Now, earlier in the show, I was picking with my heart and not with my head. You feel me? I was just
I get it. But I'm just saying, I should have bet the game because I really thought that Florida State was going to win. Probably would have won some money, too. But no, Florida State deserves to be in, man. I mean, like I said, you know, we talk about the eye test. The eye test passes completely. You win without your starting quarterback. Like let's do it this way. How many quarterbacks you take the starting quarterback out of all the other fucking teams, and you tell me if they can fucking win and be undefeated? I'll tell you right now, Texas would not be anywhere close to it if they lost Ewers. I don't give a fuck about Manning. They ain't gonna win shit without Ewers. Second of all, Georgia ain't gonna win shit without that quarterback. You know, and probably Washington too. They definitely ain't winning shit without Penix. So I
don't know about that, bro.
No, fuck no. There's no way in hell that they win without Penix.
That O-line and that run game.
Oh, come on, dude. He's a Heisman Trophy guy.
If Lions need the guard, they're probably gonna go to Washington to grab the guard. Like, I'm just telling you that.
Number 55. I know what you're talking about. Yes,
those boys up front. You think it's Penix, but it's those boys up front. It gets you something.
Well, if you watch the Oregon game, he was running for his life. That line was god awful garbage in that game. But Penix is the one that made the plays to win.
Because that offensive line and defensive line and that Washington team bulldozed that Oregon.
They did, but when Penix had to make throws, he usually had to make them in pressure situations. I'm just saying, man. You take away Penix, you take away Ewers, you take away Beck from Georgia. These teams are not winning. Are not going undefeated. The fact that Florida State went undefeated, they deserve to be in. Period. And hey, let the chips fall where they fall. That defense is fucking good, man. I wonder who anybody could score on that defense, man. Verse is a beast, bro. that guy, I can't believe he came from what school he came from, but I can't believe that shit, man. They found him. Kudos to that, man.
Leo, let's get your point of view, man. So you had
it's very interesting, right? But right, Neil, like, man, you know what, man, like we could talk politics all day, but at the end of the day, like the only reason why we shit on Florida State is because they don't have their quarterback. But I mean,
that's a big thing in college, man. Like,
and they
it's
won,
not like
and
in
they
the
won with their
NFL.
third string quarterback.
But what are you gonna do? Like, you're gonna penalize the team because they don't have their starting quarterback. The team, like, it's the way that the cookie crumbles, and if that means that because we don't have an SE team that gets in, oh fucking well, like what is college football doing? Like, like, I hate the narrative. Like, it's like you're gonna hang your hat on the SEC, and they bring all this money and all this other stuff, and it's like, so college football basically hangs on the nuts at the SEC.
Oh no, the college football people like Texas too, man. You know, they're a bit.
Look, man, look, I think it's between Florida State and Texas. But, like, that's your real issue. Like,
So you got Bama. You got Bama in.
Man,
it's not gonna be fucking Georgia.
I want to. I want to, but the head to. How do you take out Texas beating Alabama?
So if you say it's between Florida, if it's Florida and Texas, who else do you have in?
Look, as of right now, for me, I'm gonna sit there and say Florida State. Like, I don't know how you're gonna just boot them out. You know, I've a good reason to boot them out. Like, you know, we talk about the quarterback, but it's not their fault. Like, even if they were one and done, like, it is what it is. You know what I mean?
Who gives a shit? They won. That's all that matters. I mean, if they would have lost, then we can have that debate. But they fucking won. They're undefeated.
And that's what they're gonna be saying. That's what they're gonna be saying about the Texas-Alabama game. It don't matter when it was played. It don't matter if their quarterback was not in tune with the offense at that period of time. It's the point that y'all played head to head. They went to your house and beat you in your house.
Yes. Yeah.
That's big. That is huge. Yeah. So how you gonna look at a team like, hey Texans, we're gonna put you at 5th, but the team that you beat at their house, we're gonna put them at 4 and put them in the college tournament.
Well, I'm pretty sure we've seen in the playoffs, in the college football playoffs, where teams have won head-to-heads and they still didn't get in over that other team. There had to have been some situations like that. I can't pull history right now, but
if a team had more than 2 losses, I mean,
neither one had 2 losses. Both had one loss.
I think only time we ever had that, I don't think we had that. Like,
both Alabama and Texas will have 1 losses. So what it is you've got one side of the head-to-head, and you got the other side with what conference champion what victory matters more. You beat the number 1 fucking team in the country, or you beat the number 18th team in the country.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So that's where the crux is going to be, right there for the people in the debate. Is what weighs more. That's what I was telling you earlier, Bandit. Whoever gets in tells me this. If you're telling me a head-to-head means more than anything, then why the fuck even have a conference champion?
But like you said, that head-to-head and a conference champion, though, like, you got to think, it ain't like they got head-to-head and they don't have a conference. They got their conference championship, too. So not only do we got our own conference championship, but what I'm the SEC conference championship, and you're going to put us, they're both a
conference. But that's what I'm saying. They both have 1 loss. Yes, Alabama did lose to them in a head-to-head. I acknowledge that. Yes, I do.
I mean, I understand where you're coming from, but I'm just trying to see, like.
Also, look at who they fucking played, man. Shit. I mean, you knocked off the number 1 team in the country. What did I say about Texas? If Texas had knocked off fucking Georgia, then they deserve to be in the playoff. I just cannot see you taking the team that knocked the number 1 team out of the country and did it handily, okay? I don't care what the fucking score is. If you watch the game, Alabama had that game the whole way.
I understand that, but hey, we beat the team that beat the number 1 team in the nation. You see how that come back around?
Like I said, it could go. It's a merry-go-round, man. It can go both ways.
Man,
It's going to be very hard. It's going to be very hard to make a decision. I'll tell you that right now because you have to weigh both sides.
No matter what the decisions, I feel like at the end of it, who the top 4 teams they put in this thing, there's going to be people that are saying, hey, they're wrong. You feel me?
Oh, of course.
They got to go with either. It's right now in my eyes, who I see, I'm going to talk about this right now before we end the show because it's going to be a short show. We ain't going to get into real depth to it. But who I got in and who I got out, here's my top 4. We got Michigan at number 1.
Okay.
What they did today against Iowa, the 26-0 on that defense, because Iowa had a good defense. And they defense
that,
kept them in that game until late in the game. So that defense, shout out to
Mm-hmm.
Iowa's defense, man. Their offense stinks. Your quarterback stinks.
Nothing new about that.
Yeah, it stinks. Like
it's all they care about is defense. There,
wow, I thought they would put up some points, but wow, like for Michigan to do that in the Big Ten championship, you got to put Michigan.
They're the best team in the country. After Georgia fell down, Michigan's number 1, 100%.
So then you got Washington at what they did to Oregon. You feel me? Them being underdogs after they beat them earlier in the season, then they beat them late in the season in the championship, and everybody had them underdogs. You gotta get Washington number 2. 3, you give to Florida State. It was ranked 4 in the polls this week before this all started, all this controversy. It was 4. They went in there, won their conference championship with a 3rd-string quarterback. Now this quarterback is not going to be the starting quarterback when they get to the college tournament. Their 2nd string was only out because he was in concussion protocol.
Yeah, he'll be back. Yeah.
Okay, so he'll be back. All right. So they'll have a quarterback. They'll have a quarterback a little bit more familiar with offense. Give it to Florida State. And like I said, I think with Alabama beat Georgia today, and when Alabama already had that head-to-head loss to Texas, it knocked both SEC teams out. Texas is going to be the 4th team in there. What you got, Leo? I know you gritting your teeth. You gritting your teeth. I mean, it sounds, but you think about it though, like that Alabama coming back to losing Texas in Alabama is gonna come back and bite them in the butt. I'm telling you. What you got, Leo, man?
So then you're gonna leave out Florida State.
No, I said I got Florida State at 3. I got Michigan, Washington.
He's leaving Alabama. He's leaving Alabama. Yeah.
I'm leaving out Bama and Georgia and Ohio State and Oregon. All y'all just got normal bowl games this year. Y'all not in the college playoffs. I'll see you again next year. Try again.
I'm with it. I've got no. I just don't think you can't leave out Florida State.
Yeah, the Florida State.
Like I said, that head-to-head battle with Texas and Alabama.
Yeah, right.
Is going.
Right. I'm good with that.
What's your 4 teams you got, Nate? We got it.
I mean, everything's all the same except I got Bama in. I think that they're going to win the conference championship.
You got Florida State or Texas in?
Oh, I got Florida State in. Florida State.
So you got Michigan, Washington.
Yeah, Bama's the 4th team. But actually, depending, even if Texas gets in, I think Texas could be over Florida State just because the fact is, you know, the way they've won and all that lately, I could see Florida State being the 4th seed. Same thing with Bama. I think Bama would jump Florida State, and Florida State would probably be in the 4th seed again. I don't know. I mean,
all know tomorrow.
It'll be interesting because Texas and Michigan. Ooh, that's gonna be a fun one. You know, that's not going to be a good matchup for Michigan right off the bat.
Listen, I will say this though. Like, I think the most dangerous team right now is a threat to everybody is Bama.
Yes,
like, they are
the way they've been playing. Bama been playing their asses off, man.
Bro.
That quarterback,
bro, the kid has grown before our eyes, bro. Like, and it's like it's all coming together at the right time, bro.
Let me ask you this question: If Bama and Texas were to play again, who would win right now?
If what?
I'm taking Bama. Like at the current rosters as they are right now.
Yeah. And nothing's changed really. The teams are still the fucking same. The problem is that Milroe's not playing like ass. Right. Like if you watch, I watched that Bama and Texas game. Milroe gave that game away. Like Texas got a pick six off his ass. They picked him off 2 or 3 times, I think, in that game, and that was the difference of the game.
Oh,
Bama
he
played
come a
well.
long
It's just
way.
that Milroe could not do shit
He come a
the whole
long
game.
way, though. The
He
kid
had exactly. That's why I say that head to head, you gotta. It doesn't weigh as much as I think a lot of people think it does because it was early in the season and everybody plays like ass early in the season because you're learning a new offense, you're learning new players. It's a transition period, and Milroe played bad after that too. You know, he got benched and then started again,
yeah,
but now
yeah, yeah.
he's been all world, man.
But
And
this is
and
go ahead.
I I think I'll just say this last thing. I think, in my opinion, the nation wants to see how Alabama fares with these other juggernaut teams than a Texas team who really all they do is just fucking run the ball. And they play off the pass once in a while, but their staple is running the football. I think they want to see this Milroe against some of these defenses. That's just my opinion.
I'm just telling you, if by the grace of God, if Bama gets in, Bama's a legit threat. So
Oh,
every
absolutely, yeah.
But if Bama get in, Bama would get in as a 4th seed, and they will have to play Michigan.
I
Off,
look,
off
That
the
would be a
table.
good
I'm
game.
gonna be honest. I would probably take Bama over Michigan.
Yeah.
So you
I
you
think
got
it,
Bama. So
I'll
you got
take
Bama basically. So if Bama get in, you got Bama winning it all.
yeah. I'll ride the wave. Yeah.
So who would you have if it's Washington, Florida, or Washington, Texas?
So just because of the quarterback, I'll take Washington, right? So you got Washington in, and you got Washington, Bama, and I got Bama taking Washington.
Nate,
If that would happen,
ask the question again.
I said. So if you got
Bama
Bama being the
doesn't
4th
have four.
seed, it would be either Washington versus Texas or Washington versus Florida State. Who you taking out of that game?
Who am I taking in that game?
Yeah.
I'd love to see Washington and Texas because I think that'd be a shootout like for the ages.
And who would you have
Um,
winning that game?
ooh. Honestly, I'd probably take Penix, man. I'd take Penix over Ewers, man. Ewers, I think there's a reason why Ewers is coming back next year, which is what they're saying he's going to do. He's going to come back next year. He still needs to become a better polished thrower. Like he still throws some erratic passes. I mean, he got picked off in this game. He's thrown picks in before. I definitely think Penix is more of a polished passer, and I would definitely because the reality is both defenses are not that great. They're bend but no break. Offensively, they both have weapons. I think Texas maybe has a little bit more weapons, but it also depends on the health of Xavier. Uh, whatever the hell his name is. He got hurt today. Worthy. He got hurt, so he was on crutches. So I don't know what his status is going forward. But if they don't have him, that's a huge loss for Texas. I would take Penix just because the better quarterback. But that
So
would
who
be a
would you?
damn good game to watch.
So who would you take out of Alabama, Michigan?
Whew, damn. That'll be a fun game to watch. Two hard smash mouth game. Our teams going at it in the trenches. Woo! Again, it's like Texas and Washington. Both have good defenses. Both have weapons. I'd have to go with the quarterback, man. And man, I never thought I would take Milroe over JJ McCarthy, but I'd probably have to go Milroe just because of his running ability. I think that if they play man to man on Bama, he's gonna shred him with his legs. He shredded fucking Georgia today. Did you see how bad they shredded Georgia? Like, how many times do you see that?
If
You know,
Michigan come in this playoff being the number 1 seed and get put out in the first round, Michigan fans is gonna have a fit.
I'll tell you right now,
Michigan fans is gonna have a fit.
Michigan is praying to the gods right now that they put Texas in there and not
And not
Bama.
Alabama.
Because
I'm just telling you, bro. Like
I think it's gonna be Bama. I'm telling you, dog. I mean, y'all can say whatever you want to say about the head shit, But I think it's going to be Bama, man. You just cannot keep a team that beat the number one team in the country out of the playoffs. It'd be chaos over epic proportions. And the revenue, too. You got to look at the revenue. SEC always brings in a lot of revenue into these games.
My top four, if Michigan, because I got Texas getting in. So if Michigan played Texas, I feel like Michigan would beat Texas.
Yeah.
And then I feel like what would be Florida State versus Washington. That will be a game, too.
I think
but I feel like that Washington offense would be a little bit more with
that defense would make Penix's life a living hell, man.
So I would be all over the place. Will pull through. I feel like Washington will pull through, and I got Michigan and Washington in the national championship. And
I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna probably
that's national championship. I got Washington winning because I would never say Michigan winning, nothing like that. You got me messed up. I'm an Ohio State fan to the fullest. You goddamn Buckeye. I mean it. OHIO. Yeah, I said it. Yeah, I got Washington winning the national championship. That's how I'm gonna put it on here. I'm gonna put it on you when I put it on you.
I'm actually gonna go another.
I'm a Buckeye to the fullest, and I mean that. I don't want Michigan to win a national championship, and I gotta hear that go blue all goddamn summer.
Stop talking. No. Let me get a word in.
Go ahead, my brother.
I'm actually gonna go another route. I actually think that you could be looking at Florida State winning it all because that defense is elite.
Defense win championship too.
Exactly. Defense travels. And if that second string quarterback, I've seen him play, he's got some game. If they could just run the ball and just get the ball to Wilson.
They got two playmakers out on the outside too.
Yeah, let that fucking defense eat, bro. Verse and number 11, oh my God. You talk about elite at all levels, man. Like, holy shit. Like, they're probably the best defense, even better than Bama's, in my opinion. I think Bama's got a good defense, but I think Florida State's got even better defense. If Florida State could just get some quarterback play decently, dude, Florida State can win it all.
And they have time to adjust and practice and get used to it too. So,
Washington ain't got no defense, so.
Yeah, Washington. Yeah, if Washington,
I don't know the two safeties they got, number 13 and number 28, was out there smacking stuff out there. I was making plays. I'm just saying.
No, I mean they're like Texas, man. They're bend don't break. They got good interior players. They got some decent secondary players, but both can be shredded easily. Like I've seen Texas get shredded by shitty ass fucking offenses in the Big 12. Oklahoma fucking shredded the shit out of them. Okay, like, and that's another thing too. I want to bring back to you is the losses. Texas lost to Oklahoma, who wasn't even in the fucking championship, and Bama lost to a team that you're arguing should be in the playoffs. Just want to say that too. So there's a lot of ways you can dissect this matchup between these two teams. Again, like I said, whoever gets in is going to tell me more about what this committee is looking for going forward. Is it the eye test? If it's the eye test, Alabama wins the eye test over Texas hands down. You guys got to agree with me on that. Yeah, you talked about Milroe. You talked about this defense. They beat Georgia, pretty much dominated both lines. You can't tell me that the eye test doesn't say Alabama's a better team than Texas.
Yeah, because Alabama looking nice right now.
Exactly. So if it's the eye test, then Alabama's in. If you're just talking the head-to-head, then probably Texas is in because Texas did go into their house and did win early in the season and took advantage of a very young, raw Milroe.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Milroe.
Texas pounced on a young squad, and them boys grew before our eyes.
Oh, yeah.
Squad now.
I'm telling you, man, here's the thing. In sports, early in the season, you always hear it's not really how you start, it's how you finish. Okay? And the argument is that, Texas took advantage of a very young offense that, had a quarterback who was just kind of learning the offense and learning his own. And you see what he is now. He's in the Heisman talk. He probably will be in the Heisman at the end of the season, at least as one of the people.
Let me compare. Let me give you two comparisons of that Texas game. Texas went in there and beat Alabama when they was down, like the Lions beating the Chiefs without Kelsey and Jones. But do you take that win away from the Lions?
No,
So you can't take that win away from Texas.
What the fuck? That's a horrible comparison, dude.
You can't.
You
You
can't.
can't, bro.
you can't.
That's a good comparison. You can't take, even though they
For
was
the same reason
down
why-
and they had a couple people
Yeah.
hurt.
But in the
take that
NFL,
win.
you don't play. You don't
For the same
in
reason
the
why you got to
NFL.
leave Florida State in, right?
And in college football, if no matter that one loss can keep you out of the playoffs, bro. One loss can keep you out of the playoffs. So I'm just saying, you can't. It's the same comparison, man. But we're gonna get our final thoughts so we can get out.
Well,
here.
one loss can keep you out of the playoffs. The Texans had one loss too. So what are we arguing?
That head-to-head match. It's gonna come down to that head-to-head match, man.
It's not how you start; it's how you finish, sir. Go ahead.
Get your parting words, man, so we can get out here, so we can get some sleep because we got a show at 10 o'clock in the morning. Make sure y'all tune in that. You feel me?
I mean, I hate that this game is determined by people's opinions. These players go out and they play hard. You know, if you watch some of the press conferences of these coaches, it's like begging to get in. It's really sad.
Begging.
You know,
Bro,
like
our
literally.
team did this, our team did this, or did we?
Yeah, we need to do this or that. I don't know how you can't do this without the CFP people, but I don't like it because there's always going to be people that are going to be left out. Somebody's going to be hurting and somebody's going to be screwed and all that. I'm glad they're expanding it to 12. That's going to help a lot because then you can argue 12 spots rather than 4 spots. It's a huge number, actually, if you think about it. So I hope they do it right. Like I said, if it's the eye test, Bama's in. If it's the head-to-head, Texas is in. And that's it.
Leo, what's your parting words to the people?
Don't let the Bama boys in. They'll run the table.
For Michigan State, don't let the Bama boys in, man.
We're in a Trojan jacket.
Hey, all I gotta say is this is why we love football, man. You feel me? It's always something to talk about, man. I love doing this, man. I can sit here and talk sports all day, man. Like for real, man. But hey, man, I appreciate y'all coming on, man. Talking some football, man. I appreciate the people that came out here and watched. Hey, y'all watching this, man. Make sure y'all tune into the Lions pregame show tomorrow at 10 a.m. for the Lions. Get y'all the Lions updates, injury reports, and what's going on. We got Sky's review. We got Day-Day's section called Who's Missing on the Team. You feel me? And where they been at. We coming with a lot of new things in the morning. Oh, yeah, we coming with a lot of new things in the morning, man. But with that said, man, everybody enjoy y'all. Hope y'all enjoyed y'all Saturday college football. We'll all know tomorrow who stands where. But until then, man, everybody gonna have their opinion, man.
We out.
I hate to be in that committee, man, making that vote, man.
Yeah, for sure.
They ain't gonna be able to leave that office tonight. They're gonna be up all night. Sorry, honey, I'm not coming home tonight, but yeah.
Oh, they're locked in a room for the next 5-10 hours.
Yeah. With that said, man, this is Bandit Sports, man. We out here, man.
Peace.